In favor of the winner, remaining undefeated, proving he is one of the elite champions of the sport.
The fight, it is over. Canelo gets the knockout.
Tay Wilder has eradicated Dominic Brazil. He is the...
So when you out here and other people that's casuals or don't really watch the sport, see how y'all are carrying this situation with Errol Spence, it's a turnoff. That's why people don't fuck with boxing. That's why people watch football or basketball and MMA, because it's too many of y'all bitching about a man over eye injury when it's clear as day that the man injured his eye. But oh, he didn't want to fight. Like you said, it was his biggest payday. He had no reason to duck the fight. And looking at his, well, like you said, I didn't even think about it. Looking at his last fight against Keith Thurman, what the hell does Errol Spence have to be scared of with Manny Pacquiao? Like I said, after the 7th round, he gassed out. If Thurman didn't get that body shot in, I think, the 10th or 11th round, Thurman would have won that fight. He was coming back. That's the only thing that kind of saved Pacquiao in that fight. Then you had the Adrian Broner fight. When Adrian Broner let his hands go, he was getting the better of Pacquiao. He just don't never punch. And then before that, he lost to Jeff Horn. And he beat Batista. He had a win against Batista. But he lost to Jeff Horn in some people say it was a controversial fight, but it was close enough for Jeff Horn to steal the fight. So I mean, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. And just to correct you, I don't really necessarily have a favorite fighter. I have a style of fight that I prefer. I like the boxer punches. I like the ones who have defense as a metric. Like, they actually look at not being hit as a good thing. Those are my favorite styles of fighters. That's against the blood and gut warriors. I enjoy some of those blood and gut fights also, but I enjoy the sweet science more of the sport. But yeah, man, it was, to me, this whole Pacquiao thing got me confused. I really think what got them in their pennies in the bunch was the fact that Errol.
Oh no, I just thought about one other thing. Like you were saying about the excuses prior to making the fight, but to you Pacquiao fans, are you mad about the excuses that Pacquiao also made after the fight? You forgot about the shoulder. You forgot about the shoulder injury when he was raising his hand after the fight. He was throwing flurries and punches. Then after the fight, his shoulder was messed up. Are you saying he's making excuses for that? So I mean, you can't have it both ways. That's all I'm saying.
It's like I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're saying Spencer ducking because they feel he ducking. They know deep down inside that Errol doesn't even have the character to even duck a fight. To be honest, he haven't shown me really nobody that's part of his character to duck out of a fight, especially of that magnitude, of that payday stat. Like you said, all the accolades would have got from that fight. That's not Errol's character. What they really are afraid of was what Errol said. He was going to retire Manny Pacquiao. He said Pacquiao is not going to fight at me or anybody after this fight. It was what he said. And then Pacquiao came out in a couple of interviews. Everybody asking him, is this your last fight, Manny? He's not shutting down the idea that it is. He's pretty much saying that we'll see after the fight, and I don't know if it is my last fight. It's a great fight, and my responsibilities with my Filipino people. He's giving those answers. He's not saying no to the idea of retiring. And I think a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans are afraid that his last fight time in the ring will be a beatdown from Errol Spence. I'm being thoroughly honest. That's why I really feel like it came from. That's why they saying, oh yeah, Errol's duck, blase. And then watch what Ugas going here. We're not giving out predictions right now. While I'm not picking Ugas to win, I can almost guarantee you Ugas is going to make a rough fight of it. I can almost guarantee you that. Ugas is a dog. And Ugas is no walk in the park. I can almost guarantee you the same metric that we've been seeing from Pacquiao over the last 3 fights. It's the same metric we're going to see in this fight. We're going to see Pacquiao possibly lost a step. He's going to start off quick and fast and early. And if Ugas can withstand that early flurry and the early power of Pacquiao on a short notice, also you gotta look. He just now found that he had this fight. So on short notice, he has to change his game plan to fight Manny Pacquiao. If he's successful in doing that and being able to withstand Pacquiao up until the mid-late rounds, it's gonna get ugly enough for Pacquiao. I'm being honest. If the metric stays the same, he loses his step like he did in the previous fights, then he might wind up retiring anyway on a rough fight.
So do you think that at this stage, do you think Ugas is a better fighter than Keith Thurman?
At this stage, most definitely. I don't think Keith Thurman's mind or his body is in boxing anymore. I think we made a video about this, but when we talked about Tank and the possibility of him fighting Tank. I don't think Keith Thurman's mind, and like I don't really feel like he won the box anymore. I think he just does it, want to do it because it's how he makes his living. You can kind of tell. I don't know. As somebody who enjoyed training when I was heavily in boxing training, you can tell with somebody that lose the love of the gym and somebody that lose the love of actually like the idea of going to fight. Like what's the guy's name? Marvin Hagler said back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to get up and train for a fight when you're looking up from silk sheets. I think Keith Thurman is having that. Ugas haven't reached the level that Thurman reached. So Ugas is still hungry. And now that you just slapped the Manny Pacquiao fight in his lap, trust me, he's gonna I think he's gonna rise to the occasion unless it's too big for him.
I honestly, don't get me wrong, I'm disappointed. Like I said, I'm gonna be out there for fight weekend. I was hoping to cover a little bit of the fight for you out there, but apparently it's gonna be Ugas. But it could be, a blessing in disguise. I mean, even for me, I prefer the Spence and Pacquiao, but this is not a bad fight. This is a good fight, and I think this is close to a 50-50 fight. And like you said, we're not gonna get predictions. I see weaknesses with both fighters that both fighters can exploit. But I will say that Ugas, to me, wasn't the type of guy that could sell for a pay-per-view fight. And I think that was a problem for him and Spence to make the fight, because I think Spence is at the part of his career where he wants to be on pay-per-view for every fight. And I don't know if him and Ugas could have did good pay-per-view numbers. But he's fighting Pacquiao. The whole world is still going to watch, because when Pacquiao fights, the whole world is going to watch. So this is his showcase. He got the WBA title, from recess from Manny Pacquiao. So now they're fighting for that again. If he beats Manny Pacquiao on the 21st, he catapults his career. And it does make him and Errol Spence an interesting fight for the beginning of next year. But and then on the other side, if Pacquiao can win and beat the Young Buck, it adds even more fuel to the Spence and the Pacquiao fight. So even though it's been delayed and it hurts as a boxing fan, I try to look at the positive, and that's some of the positive things that I got out of this situation.